Very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining the satsang. I hope you had a very good weekend and a very good Ganesha festival celebrations. I hope you enjoyed Ganesha and you prayed for the Vignaharta to remove all the obstacles and quickly cure of all this pandemic and everything else from our world. So thank you once again. I wish Jai Shri Krishna Guru. We will continue from where we stopped last week. That is chapter 14. Okay. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshme Namaha, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Sai Satcharita, the life and teachings of Shirdi Sai Baba. We will continue the Sai Satcharita Parayan from chapter 14, which is Ratanji's meeting with Sai. My obeisance to Shri Ganesh, to Shri Saraswati and Shri Guru Maharaj, to the family deity, to Shri Sita Ramachandra, my most humble obeisance. I bow in reverence to the most venerable Guru, Shri Sai Nath. We will be continuing from verse 42. Release from such ignorance is in itself the realization of the oneness of all things. How can there be a state of complete oneness if there is even a trace of duality in the mind? From Brahma, etc., right down to the immovable things in this universe, whatever exhibits a different property from that Brahman appears as non-Brahman to the indiscriminating mind, although it is really Brahman from every angle. That which is, by its very nature, the most profound knowledge of every sort, has no place for duties of worldly life, has wiped off all traces of name or form. That indeed is the Brahman without appendages or parts. Because of its natural tendency to consider itself as different from Brahman and from the blunders arising out of ignorance, temptation, etc., the mind which is distracted by the illusion of duality becomes calm and peaceful as it attains the knowledge of this oneness. Wow, this is very true and profound and also a little complex. I'll tell you why it is complex. See, we are not talking about understanding the Brahman and all that. The simple way to attain this truth is only through love and devotion. And that is the easiest path. When you have that absolute faith and when you completely surrender, and then the unconditional love will evolve. It will open up within you. And then with the grace of the divine, you will attain the devotion. To me, that is the simplest one. We don't need to understand this complexity of the duality, non-duality, but I will still explain what does this mean. Here, it is talking about release from such ignorance is in itself the realization of the oneness of all things, which simply means that when the Guru imparts the knowledge of the truth, we say with the sword of with the sword of the knowledge, you must cut asunder the ignorance. And then when you overcome that ignorance, then you experience the oneness with the Brahma. And that is when you realize yourself. And through that realization, the duality of I am the body, I am different than God is different will go away. Then you become completely one with the Brahman. That is what is being mentioned here. But yeah, to attain that, you have to evolve and do your spiritual sadhana. You must first learn. There's so many different things to do. But the simple way to attain the God is only through bhakti. And we follow, like our Guruji, Krishna Guruji, is a proponent of Bhakti Marg, which is the path of devotion. And we only teach that. We do not prescribe any other yogas, any other methods of attaining the divine. Because only through love and devotion can your heart be purified, your mind can be completely purified, and the surrender unto the lotus feet of the divine and the Guru can happen. And let me tell you something, to attain Lord Shri Krishna, the only path is through love and devotion. There is no other path, and he is the highest that you can ever attain. So don't bother about understanding Brahman or wanting to get liberated or wanting to go through your self-realization. There are so many different things. You don't need all this. And actually Lord Shri Krishna says something very beautiful. When my devotees reach me, when they attain me, I grant them everything else. That knowledge, that self-realization, everything comes on its own. So why bother? Why are you even going after it? You don't need to. Just be lost in love and devotion alone. But yes, here Baba's teaching what it means. So let us understand it. And then it says, that which is by its very nature, the most profound knowledge of every sort, has no place for duties of worldly life, has wiped off all traces of name or form. That indeed is the Brahman, without appendages or parts. Absolutely true. If you look at the great divine masters, they are not running a rat race. They are not going and earning money. They're not going and making money. They're not making their millions and billions. They're not interested in having a wife, husband, father, mother, children. There's no family at all. They don't have anybody, but this entire universe is their family. They care about the welfare of this entire universe. Their purpose is to help this humankind to be put back on the path of righteousness, to help them go on their path of swadharma, to help them understand what is spirituality is all about, how to get out of that bondage, how to get out of those insatiable desires which they are entangled with, and they lose living that life that they are come for. The purpose itself gets defeated if they are completely lost in the material world. They are entangled in the snares of Maya. It's very dangerous. So these great divine beings, the gurus who manifest in the as a guru, they don this body only to impart this knowledge, to redeem those select few. They are not interested in having a conglomerate or having 1 million followers and trying to teach everybody. No, they are only interested in that one who is a true seeker, a true aspirant, and they will help them to evolve on that journey, take them ahead, and help him cross the shore, because it is not in everybody's strength, or it is not everybody's cup of tea to be on the path of spirituality. Yeah, everybody aspires for it. People say, yeah, I want to attain Brahman, I want to become self-realized, I need to attain moksha. Yeah, it's all very nice, easy said than done. It's mere words. But when you are actually put on the path, you don't know what hits you. First is your ego is going to get crushed like nobody's business. And you don't even have the right to open your mouth and bring some gutter from some outside and come and give your spiel of, whatever the rubbish knowledge that you have gathered over many years. There is no room for all that. Please remember one very interesting thing, when you walk in the presence of a great master and the divine being, learn to shut your mind and your mouth. It's very important. If you need that knowledge to enter you, first be submissive. There's a very beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. The first canto in that, Sutta Goswami is saying how he received the knowledge. How did he approach the great sages to get that knowledge? He was submissive. First is you have to become submissive to get that knowledge. Not with an ego and arrogance, not telling that I want to attain, I know Vedas. There are people who come and claim they have read too many books, they have read Vedas. They come and try to argue, compete and all that. I'm sorry, nobody's interested in whatever BS you have learned. It has no use when you come in the presence of a guru, because that is all rubbish. It's equivalent to some garbage, You need to put all that aside. First, the guru is going to make you unlearn everything. You need to, you need to be like a sponge. First, open up. You have to be able to absorb what the guru is teaching. You need to give up whatever that you have come up with. Throw that outside and come up with an open heart and an open mind. Don't come and judge how your guru has to teach you or what he has to do. The great divine being's way of testing you is first of all very different. He's actually going to test whether you're deserving of that knowledge or not. You need to be eligible of that knowledge itself. It's not going to come to you easily. He's going to assess you. And for that, he's going to create certain situations, okay? And he's going to see how you're going to go through that. So this is of the great master's work. To whether you're qualified to be with him or not is the test you're going to go through. Until you don't give your Agni Pariksha, means the test of your faith, how good you are, because your self-conceit and deceited mind can do anything. We are not interested in such idiots coming and learning from us. That is how it is. You first need to become deserving and then learn. Come with that goodness of heart, come with that open mind. Be grateful that there is some grace on you, so that when you come here, you will learn that. Not try to come and question the authority or anything. That is none of your business. You are nobody over here. Know this. So when you go to a spiritual master, always be submissive. It's a very important lesson that every guru, every scripture teaches how to first be eligible to receiving that knowledge. And it's not everybody who can understand this. Today my Guruji imparted a very beautiful satsang from some Das Bodh, which is the teachings of Samarth Ramdas. You should go listen in Krishna Knows, and it talks about how do you recognize the great divine being, because nobody can understand who these divine beings are. First of all, you need the grace, and when that grace, that divinity is within you, that is when can you see the divine in that guru. If your heart is filled with the doubts and all the self-conceit and deceit, you will only see the opposite divine being as a crass human being. And that is what is going to give you 1,000 more times. You need to understand how this divine works. By the way, Lord Shri Krishna or any of these great masters have said, if you give me one, I will give you back in 10 or 100 times more. The same thing I will give it back to you. So it is what you offer to me is what you are going to get back more that many times. And if you are seeing me with the eyes of doubt, I will throw more doubt at you. You're only going to see this Maya of me, which is this human body. I am not going to be, visible to you. It is not so easy to attain the divine grace to experience that truth. And that is why it is said, and I repeat this, as is your faith, so are your experiences. So please learn your place. You might be given an opportunity, doesn't mean you can stand it. You can even be kicked out in no matter in time. There are a lot of people, who come in spiritual and they fall out very easily. My own Guruji's disciples, many of them who are very devoted to him, could get, just fall out only because of their ego and arrogance. So know that spirituality is not for everybody. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna has explained those who, the doubting mind, those who do not believe in my words, those who argue with me and, try to say they are right and they know some material worldly BS. Please do not impart this profound knowledge to them. Know this. So it is not everybody's cup of tea. And if you're getting this knowledge, please be humble. Show that humility and learn. Open up that attitude and evolve on that path, because this grace is not going to be forever. Everybody gets an opportunity, but it is not, it's only one in that many can make use of that opportunity to go till that end journey, because it is not so easy as it looks like. And this is Baba is teaching this, because every verse here is very profound and nobody had it easy. Trust me, even when these divine beings have to manifest in a body, they have to wear themselves out to go through that sadhana with their own gurus. Okay, and they have not misbehaved with their gurus like this. And in fact, in the scripture, there is a very beautiful story about Baba's guru and how has Baba learnt under his guru, and that's a very important lesson. So please don't sit for satsang just because you want to be sitting here. Take that knowledge and at least make use of it at least 1%. You will really have a huge spiritual wheel. People listen in and then it goes out. Sink it in. We have been given 2 years so that we can listen all to the good things and it has to percolate inside. It's not like I listen into this year and take it out from this year. That's not why spiritual knowledge is given, So make an effort, and that is your own effort. Nobody can come and feed it from outside, not even the master. The master can only be compassionate. He's going to forgive your mistakes. He's going to give you chances. But know that it's not going to be to eternity. He's going to give you so many chances. His time is limited. So don't please sit in front of a divine being and try to come up with your stupid questions. Ask the relevant question that is going to put you on the path of progress. That is what is mentioned. He who does not feel that I am different, people are different, who sees this whole world as one, filled with the one and the same spirit, he finds nothing that is separate from himself. It's talking about how you feel oneness with everything. These divine beings do not feel anybody is different, because they see everything is God alone. Everything has become God alone. There's a very beautiful teaching which my Guruji has imparted about a Buddhist monk. I don't know the exact name of this person, but suddenly I'll just narrate the story and the lesson from that story, which is what is important. So there is this monk who's walking and he's begging, and suddenly a man catches hold of him and beats him very badly, and he doesn't know why is he beating him so much. And in the nearby place, there's a monastery, and those monks run and come to save him. He's badly beaten. And then he's taken to the monastery and they, give him milk. And that time this man says something very beautiful. He says, the one who beat me is the one who's giving me the milk too. So, look, understand this. The lesson is for everybody. So the Lord works through everybody, but checks where do you stand in that. So the point here is that even if the man has beaten him, this person is not reacting to it badly. He's saying it is the will of the divine. So we need to, get to that state to see God in everything. And this is a very important lesson. To reach that stage means when you have attained the divinity itself, when you can see that God, this entire creation is become God himself. It is God himself. That is what it means here. Like where you cannot find any difference between this world, there's somebody else different. You see everybody as equal. That is the highest state of spirituality to attain. To regard name, form, doing of actions as obstacles, to give up altogether any idea of duality, is itself to become Brahman. I alone am. There is not a place where I am not. I pervade all the 10 directions. Nothing exists apart from me. Absolutely true. This entire universe is the divine. Bhakta Prahlad told his father once, his father asked him, Hiranyakashipu, where is your God? Is he there in this wall? Is he there in here? So Bhakta Prahlad said, yes, my God is in everywhere. He's in this pillar, he's in this wall. That is the devotion. And to fulfill that devotion, Lord Narasimha broke that, he came out of that pillar and said, this is, see, my God has come. That is how the divine appears. Why? Because it was his faith. He said, God is in everything. God is everywhere. That is the faith you need to carry. Hold fast to this one idea. Thrust aside Maya that deludes, bearing in mind that there is nothing that is separate from me. Concentrate your thoughts on the self. Listeners might naturally ask how this duality arises at all. Brahman is the object of knowledge, while the being is one who tries to get this knowledge. By what means, then, can this feeling of duality be removed? Even the slightest trace of duality in the mind will destroy this complete oneness and at once give rise to a sense differentiation, which becomes the cause of births and deaths. Absolutely true. But you know what? It's not so easy to get to this state. But to get to this state, you need to have a guru. Without the guru's grace, you cannot attain this. Which means you have to walk this path which your guru prescribes for you, and then follow whatever your guru agya is. And then he'll slowly open it up for you. You cannot expect how he's going to teach you or in what form the knowledge is going to come. But it is for you to make an effort to walk that path. Nobody else is going to walk that path for you. Know this. When the darkness of ignorance is dispelled, the whole creation seems to dissolve and the vision is filled with oneness of the self, with everything else. This illusion of duality disappears at once. Absolutely, this is exactly what we were discussing earlier. That you only can see the divinity, that entire creation you can only see as God himself. You can't see another human being. You cannot look at them as some human being who's there. And it doesn't even matter what people say, people talk and all that. But that doesn't also mean that you can allow people to get away with murder. It doesn't mean that. Means, what it means is, yes, you understand that everybody is divine. You respect the divinity, but you are not going to give in to somebody's ego and arrogance. We will need to show them their place. Look, you cannot bring in ego and arrogance. You need to stop. And that is something which will be taught as part of spirituality. In front of a great master, no arrogance and ego works. The only thing that works is love, devotion, faith, humility and humbleness, without which you are not even eligible for that spiritual growth. When pure water is mixed with pure water, it all becomes one. What it was before and what it has become now appears as inseparable, without a trace of difference. Absolutely true. Logs of wood differ in their shapes, but as fire, they are indistinguishable. They lose their separateness, their shapes merging into one mass as fire. Similarly, the knowledge of the oneness of Atman needs no other proof. The Atman dwells in all living creatures but is always without a form. Absolutely. False conflicting notions cause delusions in the mind all the time, and hence the mind is always agitated by experiencing the sufferings of birth and death. Oh, this is extremely important. False conflicting notions. See, whatever you have learned, if it is not imparted by the real master, everything is false. Please, get this very clear in your head, okay, in your mind. Tell your mind, everything that you have learned in the material world, before you have met your guru, everything is false. And it is conflicting notions. Because you think what you have learned is what is the truth. And then you try to come and argue with the real master when he is giving you the real knowledge. And then you question that. Why? Because it is conflicting notion in your mind. Whose problem is it? You think the master is not giving you the truth? He is telling you the truth is sitting right in front of you and it is right under your nose. Yet you don't have the eyes to see, and you question that. And you waste not only your time but everybody else's time, because it is a doubt in your mind. And please, it is mentioned in the scripture. Baba has said this. False conflicting notions cause delusion in mind. It is going to cause more delusion in your mind. So you need to accept what is being told to you. And cogitate on the knowledge that is being given, because this knowledge is not got so easy. There might be so many other aspirants who deserve this, but you have the opportunity, and so please take it and don't waste it. Because if you keep doing this, you will be thrown out. Very simple as that. This is a very beautiful thing my Guruji will teach. He said once very nicely to someone, you know what, my job is to only teach. I am here constantly. The knowledge is like, it's a truth. It is the same for anybody. Whoever comes with that open heart and the sincerity to learn, I am here to impart. Not sitting and trying to, challenging me. You don't challenge the master, or you don't argue with the master. He is the truth himself who's sitting in front of you. What is it you want to try to challenge and question him? So please learn with submissiveness. First be subservient to the Guru and learn under him so that you can progress. It is not he who is losing, it is you who are losing out on getting that knowledge. He who has overcome the obstacles of name, form, etc. and has attained to a state of God realization is a Siddha, unharmed by Maya and always self-absorbed. Absolutely true. Today you have to go listen to my Guruji's Das Bodh Satsang. In this he has taught who are these Siddhas, how do you recognize them? It's so beautiful and profound. They are not going to wear some fancy garments. They don't have a designer clothing. They don't have, they have not written here, oh, this is who I am on their forehead. They don't walk with a mark. They don't walk with a pride. They don't have all fancy cars and people marketing them. They don't have any such things. They appear as an ordinary human being. So ordinary that is what deludes you. You think, oh, who is this? Who is this? Ordinary people sitting like this. Even when they come here, many people visit my Guruji. And he appears so normal, so simple. That's his humility. We call him a internet modern era guru. Why? Because, my Guruji just wears a t-shirt and a jeans pant. That is all he, wears. That's his daily and simple clothing that he wears, which is comfortable. He's not interested in wearing an ochre garment or trying to create a persona. No. He's very simple, and if you look at him, you'll wonder, oh my God, is this a great master? No, nobody can understand him. So people make judgments about him when they come here, and they try to question, who is this person and what am I going to learn from him? It's the same case even with some of my own this body's people who, like, when my Guruji is going with me, they look at him as a human being. What they don't understand is God is walking into your doorstep and you don't even have the grace to see that, for which first you need to have faith. It's very sad state. Many times I do get very angry because when this great master comes, you need to bow in reverence. You need to be grateful that they are coming to your home and gracing your house. The moment their feet touches your house, the removing of all the negativity, the evil things that exist in that. When you touch the feet of the Guru, you know what? They take on all your karma. Why should they do this for you? Who do you think you are? You're not deserving also. And such is their grace. They in this, Baba has mentioned the previous chapters we did, when somebody is fallen down beyond the unrighteous people, the great masters give them an opportunity to rise. So please rise, you unworthy people. Why are you wasting your life? Do not waste it. Get up and rise, because this is an opportunity. These masters are not going to be to eternity to give you that. Why do you question? So this is what happens. So do not judge. Always, pray for one very important thing. God, give me the grace to be able to recognize when you appear. That is what you have to seek. That should be your prayer. Give me that eyes to see you in whatever form that you might appear. That is what is important. And when God has to give you that experience on its own, it will happen. You don't have to ask. And don't ask, but show your faith. It is what is your faith will reflect that divinity in them. If you don't have faith, then there is no divinity that you can experience. There are no miracles, by the way. It is only your faith that can manifest the divinity that you truly wish to experience will manifest in front of you. Know this for sure. And I can quote so many different experiences, but when we get an opportunity, I will definitely share my experiences. Shri Sai is such a state personified. Blessed are those who were fortunate to have his darshan. The moon seems to be in the water, but is really outside. So are also the saints who appear to be surrounded by the devotees, but are inwardly detached. Absolutely. My Guruji might be sitting with all of us and he's talking and he's teaching. But you need to understand that he's not there. He's not physically present, but he's teaching everyone. They're always detached. They are not attached to anything in this world. They're lost in themselves. They're always in a blissful state. And their heartbeat is nothing but it chants the name of the divine. That is their heartbeat. Can you imagine this profoundness? But we human beings are always filled with desires. We have thoughts that is, telling me, oh, what should I eat tomorrow? What should I do tomorrow? What is my life about? Can I get something? I'm always with a begging bowl. We never empower ourselves to become divine. Why? Because we believe we are human beings when we have full of desires and we are running after the desires. To become divine, first you give up your desires and want a hankering after sensual pleasures. It is not going to give you anything. It's not worth it, trust me. Every single day, I don't know how much you look forward for this satsang, but I look forward for reading this to you. And whoever is listening, I hope you come with the same excitement to wanting to listen to Baba's teachings. It's very beautiful. I love it. And I look forward for this day. Throughout the day, yes, I need to do my duties as this body is required to. That is a swadharma which has to be done. But my true swadharma is this teachings. And this knowledge is not just for you, but for all of us. We get to learn. And whatever one has to get is what you will get. So listen attentively. Forever in the midst of devotees, they have attachment nowhere. Their minds are absorbed in the self. Nothing else appears before their vision. Absolutely true. Such are the great sadhus and saints through whose words God himself speaks. For them, nothing is unattainable, nothing unknown. There are innumerable gurus and shishyas in this world who give and take spiritual instruction. But rare indeed is the guru who gives actual experience with knowledge. Absolutely true. This is what I think I've been, emphasizing and reiterating in every chapter of which there are so many different gurus. And in fact, we've done a very beautiful lesson on who is this Aniyat Guru and Niyat Guru. These are the Niyat Guru who can give you the direct experience of the knowledge and the truth. Which means it said the actual experience along with knowledge. When a guru imparts a words, you will have to get the direct experience of it. That is how these true gurus are. Otherwise, you can know that they are not the real gurus who cannot even give you that experience, who doesn't even teach you, doesn't even meet you. These are not the real masters. Trust me. When I started my spiritual journey with my Krishna Guruji, I'll give you a very beautiful experience that I went through. There's so many experiences. I'm actually going to be continuing writing my journey with my master and I have stopped. So I apologize to everybody, but I will continue writing and you should go read it. And I'm calling out all the experiences that I have gone through in my life and what it is to be in spiritual. I'm going to write about this. So it so happened that when I met my Guruji, and I got this Bhagavad Gita, the first experience that I had, I met him on 14th August 2009, literally the day, on Krishna Janmashtami day. In my life, Lord Krishna was born, I was twice born to me. And I took that Bhagavad Gita and when I went home, I had this idol, beautiful idol, which my mom had worshipped and she had kept it in the puja room. So I took that and I placed it on, that's a Lord Shri Krishna's small marble idol. I placed it on the Bhagavad Gita and I just took one step. I was walking to my bedroom. When I was taking from nowhere, suddenly there was a heavy downpour. It just felt like, when Lord Krishna was born and carrying Lord Krishna, Nanda Maharaj, just the way he was crossing the Yamuna river, and there was a storm and thunder and this downpour, exactly it happened to me. That was the experience. That is the truth. And the second thing I'll tell you, so I happened to visit Dakshineshwar with my Guruji. So he said, do you want to come to Calcutta? I don't know what was in Calcutta. I've heard about this Durga Puja, very famous. I was completely ignorant at that time. I didn't know much about it. And I had not traveled to West or to other parts of India much. So I said, yeah, I do want to come with you because it was an experience. And then he took me to this place which is Dakshineshwar, where there's a meditation room. It's Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji's room where he lived. And then I was sitting over there. And before that, my Guruji said, oh, you want to meet Ramakrishna Ji, is it? I said, yes. Yeah, you will meet him. That's all he said. So I took it absolutely at that faith, his word was gospel truth for me. I took it at that face value and I said, yes, I'm going to meet him. But how, what, I didn't even expect. Yeah, I was excited, being there. I want to learn. That's the fire in my belly. I was so much looking forward to it. And because it was a festive season, the temple was very crowded. So then, along with my Guruji, it should have been somewhere in the midday around, probably 11 a.m., 11:30, around that period. So we went and sat there. When I went and sat there, I just closed my eyes. And at that time, I was just less than a month old. I was almost just a month old with my Guruji, and had still this human nature, ask, desires. Oh, I want a good job. I have to become famous and all that. Those words were coming out of my mind. My mind was asking the desires. Whatever I wanted. You wouldn't believe what happened when it kept on asking. There was one heavy hand. It was so heavy, you can't even imagine. It was like an iron, huge iron, the hand that was placed on my head. My mouth, like I couldn't open my mouth. My mind stopped, literally, it's like stunned. There was no movement. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Neither I couldn't speak. And there was no thoughts in my mind. My mind could not speak one more word after that. And just tears of joy flowed through my eyes. Such was the profound experience. Literally, Ramakrishna Ji's hand I experienced. I can't, and even as I say this, I am narrating this, literally tears is welling out of my eyes. I just cannot say how beautiful that experience was. It is indescribable. I'm still trying to describe, but you can only go through it. I cannot still give you the exact experience or what I felt. It was amazing. All I can say is that I can use some beautiful adjectives to describe, because these experiences are indescribable, but I'm giving you that. So I just literally sat there until the moment my Guruji said, he called my name out, RajShree, and then that is when I'm like, I just like opened my eyes. Until then I couldn't even open my eyes, and he saw me crying. I literally fell at his feet and I said, thank you. So you met? I said, yeah, but, and then I told him what happened. Actually, he's all knowing. Because of him is when I met the Guru. I met the great master, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji. It was such a divine experience. And let me narrate to you another experience that exactly happened right there. So, I don't know how many of you have visited Kolkata and Dakshineshwar, but if you have gone there, there's a temple where Ramakrishna Ji has installed the statue of Lord Krishna, Radha Krishna, and Ram Lala. Okay, and we were walking through this mandir. I saw this Krishna who was very beautiful. Actually, this picture is there in my Facebook page. You can go check it out. It's very beautiful. So I sneakily, you're not supposed to take pictures in the temple, but very sneakily, I happened to just click one photo of that with my permission from my Guruji. So he said yes. And very quickly, I just took this picture, and that's it. And I walked off. And then suddenly, we were going around the temple, and we came to a point where there was a beautiful statue of Kali Maa, which was an old statue which used to be in the main shrine, but that now they had replaced it. So it was there in that one of the rooms. So I saw her. It was so beautiful. In my heart, I want to capture her image and keep it with me. That was what I was experiencing. And I said, can I take this picture? My Guruji is like, no, you can't take. He's like, please, I was begging him. And he's like, okay. And then I just removed slowly my camera to my shop. Suddenly there's a security guard walking. He's like, don't you see the board? No cameras allowed. Put your camera inside. I said, okay, fine, okay, he's right. I'm not supposed to take this photo. But with a very disheartened, sad at my heart. I'm like, oh, Kalima, I wanted you with me all the time. I just wanted that image of yours. So then, okay, oh, that's fine, I forgot and I came back to Bangalore. And then after 2 months, in December, I was going to Singapore with my Guruji. And at that time, we were going to have some satsangs. So we were creating a Facebook page where we are going to post the invite and everything, the schedule. We're creating an event. And for that, I was choosing a picture. So I had opened this picture up. And at that time, I was telling my Guruji, and I was crying. I said, you know what? You give experience to everybody. I wanted Kalima with me. Why is that I couldn't have her? Why is that I couldn't get her? No, I wanted that one image of her to be with me. The image is within my heart, but I just wanted to see that, We people always think we want to see with our senses. See, divinity is not to experience with senses. You have to feel it in your heart, and that is a real divinity. But you know what? There's a this picture that I talked about, this Lord Krishna's image, which I had taken a photo. Behind that, on one side, there is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji's photo. On the other side, like two sides, in center is the idol, and on both the sides behind, on the wall is hung Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji's photo and Sharda Maa's photo. And somehow the face of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji was blurred. I thought that's how it is. I didn't pay attention, or I didn't even focus on that. My Guruji was sitting beside me and he said, can you see why is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji's face not visible? You know what? Because he pointed it out to me, I just looked it very close and I started crying. You know what? It was Kalima's face, the photo which I wanted to click. That photo had appeared. This, and especially this, the face that was from the main shrine. That exact image, the photo of her appeared on Ramakrishna Ji's, Paramahamsa Ji's face. And I was shocked. I horripilated. I cried out. I just didn't know how to express. This is the burning fire that you need to have for the divine. And they on their own will manifest for you. That is the grace. And that's something you need to get. Nobody can give it to you from outside. Because my fire in my belly to wanting that divinity, to wanting to experience was so intense that yes, what was Ma's message? I am always with you. Why do you think I am not? I cried and cried and cried so much with my Guruji, and I said, thank you. This wouldn't have definitely been possible without your grace. Such is the experience. So again, I repeat, as is your faith, so are your experiences. And you cannot compare your experience to some idiot's experience. It's nothing like that. We always try to compare with one person and another. Please know that everybody's experience is depending on their faith alone. So what is that you give? How much can you ask for God? See, we all go cry to God saying that, oh, I need money. I need you to take care of my children, my husband, somebody is sick. We always go and cry at that time. But can you cry asking, I want you, God? This is the tears you have to shed to have such kind of experiences. So, and these experiences are beyond your mind, body and senses. You cannot understand through the senses or your mind. But yes, it's just an expression to understand the divinity. And these things happen. And this is not a miracle. This is the truth. This is how the divine can manifest. And this is just an example. I'm sharing one of the few examples from my own spiritual journey. And I have many more to share, which we will talk through as we evolve. Such are the great sadhus and saints through whose words God himself speaks. For them, nothing is unattainable, nothing unknown. There are innumerable gurus and shishyas in this world who give and take spiritual instruction, but rare indeed is the guru who gives actual experience along with knowledge. This is what I got. This is who my Guruji is, the truth himself, who gives me that experience along with the knowledge. When he imparts any lesson, I get a direct experience of that lesson. But enough now of this prelude. Let us proceed with the main story, whereby my listeners who are full of eager anticipation may be enriched by what they hear. At Nanded city, in the Nizam's kingdom, where there lived a Parsi merchant who was very religious and well loved among the people. His name was Ratanji. He had abundant wealth and extensive property. carriages, horses, farms and woodlands. His doors were always open to all, from where no one ever went back spurned. Though outwardly he was immersed in his way in the ocean of joy day and night, inwardly his mind was hemmed in all the time by the alligator of great worry. It is the divine law that no one can enjoy pure unalloyed happiness. To some it may be one thing, to others it is another. Each one has some sorrow or longing. Exactly what we're talking about. One may say, I am alone, I am great in all my prosperity and opulence. I alone am great in all my prosperity and opulence, and puffed up with empty pride, may begin to walk on the wrong path. So true. But it seems quite clear that, lest an evil eye be cast on the faultless, perfect one, God himself leaves him with a slight blemish, just as a mother smears a little lamp black with her finger on her child's cheek to protect him from an evil eye. Opulence of wealth, of gold that Ratanji enjoyed, made him generous with food to everyone who came to him. He would help alleviate the sufferings of meek and the poor. He always appeared to be cheerful. And actually this is a very important quality to have. God gives you wealth, not because so that you can enjoy and it satiate your desires. Actually, you will hear from Baba say that wealth is to establish dharma, which means whatever that you have, please give it to the world. Everybody deserves it. Everybody needs it. God is benevolent on you. So he's given you that, good life, opulence, everything. So share it with the rest of the world. And that is how you can grow. When you give, the universe gives you more. We come nothing and we go nothing. We leave everything on this world. So what are we going to possess about? Even a small morsel. There's a very beautiful story in Guru Charitra, one of the gurus of Lord Dattatreya. There's this bird which is carrying a morsel of food in its mouth, in its beak. So every other bird is chasing it. The moment that food drops off, they leave that bird. This is how this world is going to be. So even if you have a little bit of that piece of land, that money, everybody is going to come and haunt you. They all are after that. But know that when you give up everything, nobody is going to come after you. That is why they don't care about these great masters. But yet they go with the begging bowl to them simply because they know only these great masters who are desireless being grant things selflessly. And also know that they only give to those who are deserving at times. They know why, because you might think somebody is not deserving or they shouldn't be given. But these great divine beings know individuals, past, present and future. Sometimes they do what they do for a certain reason. So never question and judge. And please also know that whatever that you're destined to get is all that you will get. And don't keep asking, it's not worth it. Whatever you have, be contented with it. Truth is the word. You need to feel contented. You should be very glad that you have a beautiful life, especially when you are getting this knowledge. Likewise, in my case, I feel grateful to my Guruji because he's given me everything. Today I don't want to reach some highest destination in my life. Today I love being with him, learning. I want to spend rest of my life learning under him with whatever the time that is there in hand. That is what I want to do, because I've realized after many years it's taken me to understand that everything in this world is very futile. It's only a momentary thing, and the one thing that will always be with you is this truth, this bliss. That is all that you can live with and possess. Rest, everything you have to give it away and walk out. Even this body is not mine. I've just donned a garb. And like in previous chapter where Baba mentioned that your mother has given, birth to this body. She has suffered for 9 months and you have gone through the painful journey to be born. And don't waste your that pain that she has suffered through. The only way you can redeem her and you is by you walking the path of spirituality, by attaining that spiritual will. That is the good that you can give to your mother. That is the repayment that you can make to yourself and to your mother and to this entire world. That is what you have to aspire to. Money, all this thing is very transitory. It's a momentary thing. Please trust when God's hand is on your head. Nothing shall befall you. What has to be and what has to come to you, He will come to you. And He's there to take care. Trust in Him. Thus, the point of view He would help alleviate the sufferings of the meek and the poor. He always appeared to be cheerful. Thus, from the point of view of the world, Shirdi was happy, but this joy of wealth is always of little use to him who has no son. One after the other, he had no less than 12 daughters. How then will he enjoy even a moment's pleasure? How will his mind be ever at peace? Hari Kirtan without loving devotion to God, song without rhythm or musical notes, a Brahmin without the sacrificial thread. Where is the beauty in all this? Proficient in all arts, but without the discriminating knowledge of good, exemplary conduct, but without kindness and compassion for the living beings. Where indeed is the grace in such a one? Forehead bearing gopi chandan marks and the neck adorned by tulsi necklaces. But if the tongue derides and mocks the saints, wherein lies the virtue, the sanctity? Oh my God, this is such a profound and very important verse to be understood. Forehead bearing gopi chandan marks and the neck adorned by tulsi necklaces. But if the tongue derides and mocks the saints, wherein lies the virtue, the sanctity? You cannot say one bad word against the great saints and the masters. And if you open your mouth and even call him name or try to question him, doubt him, argue with him and call him bad words and say whatever comes to your mind, please know that you're going to get the wrath of it. And don't take this light, because we people have a big tongue that talks too much. And there are many people who can come and talk whatever comes to their mind and mouth. And please don't do this. You don't have the right. And this is nobody has given you the right to speak badly to your guru or to great saints or about any divine being. You do not have the right. This is exactly taught here. Where is the virtue or where is the sanctity? It cannot be there with such a person. Pilgrimages without repentance, ornaments without the necklace or household without a son. From where will they derive their beauty of joy? Will Narayana bless me with at least one son? Such was his musing every day. His mind would not be rid of the worry. Due to this, Shirdi was sad. He did not relish food or drink. Day and night he felt dejected, his mind being always full of worry. O God, remove this one blemish on my happiness and make me free of the stigma. Give me but one son to continue my family line. Save me, O Prabhu Raya, from this disgrace. This is a very interesting topic, but I don't want to touch this. I don't know why people always believe the son is the most important, a family member they should want. If they have daughters, they think daughters are always a burden and son is an asset. I don't know why this contradiction. Yes, it's an age-old tradition because the son is the one who's an heir to the throne, but daughters will get married away and go whatever, right? Even when you die, your son is going to go and give you that hasti, whatever all these things. But today we are in an era where there is no such discrimination required. A daughter is much more powerful. She's much more capable and she's much more caring than any son in this world. And I don't understand why people discriminate. And this is the mindset today people have. Many people still have this. They think that daughters means that they are some, very lowly creature. Many families still treat a woman very badly. Please respect her. She's a lot more powerful. She's much more capable. You do not understand the potential she carries. She's the powerhouse of potential. Every woman should rise and stand and show what they are in this world. Please stop this daughter-son nonsense, And I see this going on continuously in so many different ways. Today, a woman can go achieve more than what a man can do in this world. She's a lot more capable. So do not discriminate between a daughter and a son. And give her the same respect. And please, she deserves much more than what you think your son deserves. He had great faith in Das Ganu, and it was to him that Shethji related his heart's secret desire. Das Ganu said, "Go to Shirdi, and the ardent wish of your heart will be fulfilled. Take Baba's darshan, make obeisance at his feet, and tell him in detail your secret wish. He will bless you. Go, you will prosper, for Baba's ways are inconceivable. Surrender to him wholeheartedly and you will be happy." The idea appealed to Ratanji, and he made a firm resolve to go to Shirdi. Accordingly, after a few days had passed, Ratanji arrived at Shirdi. He went to the mosque for darshan and prostrated himself at Sai's feet. Love welled up in his heart as he looked at Maharaj, a mind of highest virtue. He opened up the basket of flowers and taking out a flower garland, put it round Baba's neck. very lovingly. Then he offered at his feet a profusion of choice fruit. With great reverence, Ratnaji then sat down near Baba in all humility and now listened to his prayer to Baba. When people are in great trouble, they come to Baba's feet and he protects them immediately. This is what I have heard. Hence, have I come all the way here to see you with an ardent wish, which I shall respectfully relate at your feet. Please do not turn me away, O Maharaj. Baba then said to him, and so, after all these days, you have come to me today, but then give me first whatever dakshina you wish to give. Only then will you get your satisfaction. Whenever anyone came to take darshan and began worshipping his feet, he would first ask him for dakshina, be he a Hindu, Muslim or a Parsi. And was it just a modest sum, a rupee or two, or an aggregate of 5? Not at all. He would ask for 100, 1,000, a lakh and even a crore if it pleased him. Offered once, he would say, bring more. If told that the money was over, he would say, do go and borrow it. And when it could not be borrowed from anywhere, only then would he stop asking for it. And he would say to the devotee, do not worry in the least, I will give you pots of money. Sit quietly with me and give up worry. Okay, this is a very important lesson. People think, why would a sage ask for money? You know, this is a very interesting way of looking at it. A man is a very mean creature, a petty-minded human being. You know, he's such a stupid person. He can go and spend on himself so much, but when a guru asks, he will question, why should a guru ask so much money, or why should I pay a guru? This is how the world behaves. But they come up with a very big, ask. They can come up with all the ask, and the guru has to bless them. But they cannot give the guru. Oh, what kind of a, I don't know, what kind of a mathematics is this? I don't understand. This means when a guru says, give me dakshina, you know what is he doing? When he takes the dakshina from you, he is removing your gutter karma. Know that. He is redeeming you of the sins. And don't ever take it so light. Oh, I made a big favor. I offered it to my Guruji. I gave him, $1,000. I gave him, 50,000 rupees. I gave him 100,000 rupees. Please, whatever he gives you, he will return it back 10,000 times more. That is who he is. He doesn't care about your money. He is doing you a big favor by taking the dakshina so that he can redeem you of your, all the sins that you have carried from many life, so that you can evolve in your life, and he can bless you with whatever that, the desire, the begging bowl that you have come with to ask. I want a son, I want a money, I want a job, give me this, give me that. Endless desires that you go and beg at his doorstep. That is what he's going to fulfill when he asks from you. So don't ever, think or say anything bad when you're trying to give or offer even the smallest thing to the Guruji, because they do you great favors. Why should they take your karma and suffer for you? They don't deserve people like you who come and, put all their shit at his feet. I'm sorry. There are a lot of worthy people in this world who deserve that. So this is the great master. This is what they do. And that is what Baba is talking here. Actually, this is one of the very interesting subjects which Baba will talk in further chapters. In the future, we will read about it and we will learn more about it. In fact, today, in my Guruji, in the Satsang, Das Bodh, he's mentioned about it. Why does the Guru ask for money? The Guru is not interested in any money. He doesn't care about it. These great saints, when they say, give me dakshina, only when you give, there is a reason. When you give dakshina, they take away that karma from you. And what do they do with the dakshina? They are not eating. They are not building a Eiffel Tower, please. Or they are not having a personal bank account, a Swiss bank account with millions and billions. What do they do with that money? They will take that money and give it to somebody who is in need. They will not even touch that money. No, not even a single penny will they touch. This is the same thing my Krishna Guruji does. If somebody gives him an offering, he doesn't even touch that. I keep it, and he'll say, give it to this person, give it to that person. And even if I give him some offering, if somebody comes to him with a need, and when he knows that that person doesn't have money, they don't have food, he will just take it and give it away. He doesn't even think twice. And he's not even attached to who gave or what. He doesn't even calculate. That is the greatness of this divine being. And never ever question it. And you know what? People question to take care of your Guru. And this is the world today we have evolved. And only when they are in trouble, exactly what Baba says. Oh, you're trouble, now you want to come and hold my feet. That's exactly they do. This is the meanness of and pettiness of a human being. And I don't know when they will ever rise from that. In this world, everybody has someone or the other, but we have nobody. Only Allah is for us here. What I want is one who will love me dearer than his own life. And to such a one, I repay 100-fold of what he gives to me, so brilliantly said. I will read this. Please, embed this line in this verse in your head or in your mind or in your heart. Baba says here, what I want is one who will love me dearer than his own life. He doesn't care about your money or anything. He just wants you to love him that much, which is more than your own life. Can you love him that much? Can you give him that love? He's not asking for your money or anything. Don't even ever imagine that. And to such a one, I repay 100-fold of what he gives me. Whenever you think you're giving a guru, you're doing him a favor or you're taking care, never ever let this thought, even in your wildest dream, appear. Because if you do, that is the greatest of the karma you're committing. Not just that sin can never be wiped out from your life ever. And you're going to get the wrath of it. And you don't know what kind of wrath can come. Please know this and please embed this sentence in your heart. Whatever you give, he will give you 100-fold times back to you. He doesn't keep it. And you know what my Guruji will say? Every year during Guru Purnima, let me make this very clear. I give him an account as to who transferred all. Why do people give Guru Dakshina during Guru Purnima? They're selfish. They're not giving here because they want to give that offering. They're giving because there's an ulterior motive. Because on that day they know, oh, my Guruji is going to grant me that spiritual knowledge. That is also coming with ulterior motive. And that is your motive. Please know that there will be no knowledge that will ever come to you. But my Guru is great. My Guruji is such a great being that he'll say, Jo dega bhi uska bhala, jo nahi dega bhi uska bhala. And even if they're given with any intention, he will still do good to you alone. That is who this great divine being is. And you know what he'll say? He'll take down all the account and I just have to send him the list of people and how much money have they given. He just keeps an account. And you know what he says? When the time is right, when the need of the hour, when they are in trouble, they will get 100-fold times more than that what they have given. I just need to know. It enters into my account. He has not even touched that money. But he will say, okay, do whatever it has to, he'll instruct. That is who he is. To date, whatever the number of years my Guruji has lived, he has not taken a single penny from anybody. And if somebody offers it, it is from their own will and he has never used it for his own personal benefits or for his family. You need to know this. He doesn't even give a damn about those money. Whether a rich man or a beggar, poor, weak and moneyless, Sai never differentiated between them as one being less important and the other more. And see, this is what they do. They look upon everybody in the same eyes and with the same grace. That is who these divine masters are. Thus, whoever he might be, he would obey Baba's command respectfully and shedding off all his conceit and would go to the houses of poor people to beg for money for Baba's sake. In short, under the pretext of asking for dakshina, Baba was really teaching his devotees a lesson in humility too. A doubt may arise in anybody's mind. Why does a sadhu want wealth? But when carefully thought over, the doubt will be resolved quite easily. I think we are coming at the end of the hour. I would like to stop at the verse 100, chapter 14. We will continue from tomorrow. We'll continue from where we stopped, from verse 101, because I don't want to start another chapter and stop in the next few minutes. So let us stop here. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Today was a very, very important lesson. Please cogitate and please mull over and